Okay, hi. I'm going to review a product today, and look, I don't generally review products. Matter of fact, this is the first, and I just want to say up front, I don't work for ArcticFreeze or anybody else in this. This is just me making something to try to help people out. I'm an IT guy, so I'm big on the YouTube side, meaning if I find a new process or something that I like, I always try to search for a video first to kind of help me out. But when I searched for this, I didn't really find what I liked as far as a review, or not necessarily a review, but a how-to to use this. So that's my disclaimer. Keep watching if you want. If not, do whatever you want to do. Okay, so here we are. So I've got a 2013 Ford Explorer. The reason I'm making this is I love the vehicle. It's probably one of the best cars I've ever had. As you can see, I am a Ford guy. This is my 68 Mustang, and I'm pretty good with this one, right? Nothing electronic on it. I can take it apart. There's no AC unless the top's down and the car's moving. But anyway, back to the ArcticFreeze. So I went down to O'Reilly's, close to my house here in Virginia, and the guy there suggested this. And so far, you know, I kind of like what I see. It's got easy instructions here, and the video that I did find was from the ArcticFreeze folks themselves, just kind of generally going a fast view and explaining the product. So anyway, here we go. So first off, I cut the cord on here. Also, when you get it, it's going to have a little safety piece of plastic on here. Go ahead and pull that off. Actually, don't pull it off. It screws off. And once you get that off of there, go ahead and put your canister back on to the gauge. And that's another thing I like about it. It has a gauge on it. So it's, you know, it's really foolproof. You can't overfill, because you need to remember that overfilling your AC is just as bad as not having anything in there at all. And I'll probably say that again later. But we've got the top on, everything looks good, and here's the gauge I was talking about. And so we've got the gauge back on, we're ready to go. So let's go out to the car. I'm going to start the car up, find the port, and we'll get started. Okay, as you can see now, I've got the hood open, I've got the can out, and I'm going to find the low port. Now the low port on the Ford Explorer is right here, so I'm going to simply take this off. I'm going to put it up here so I don't lose it. Bounce around. So at this point, according to the instructions, I need to go in. We're going to start the car up, and we're going to start getting this thing ready. Okay, I got the car on, and one thing here is nice of these easy instructions. So it is really simple. This is an easy task, and this is where we are at this point. We've already found it. We've taken the lid off. We've got the engine on. The AC is on max. So right now we're going to attach the fitting to the quick disconnect, and if you're familiar with these, you just kind of pull it back and put it on and shake the can well. And I've already shaken the can, and we're going to put it on. Okay, it's snug on there. We've already got a good shake. It says keep the can upright, squeeze, give it a few seconds. So we're at 30 there. It says every few seconds go ahead and turn the can, try to keep the can upright again. Hold for a bit. Still at 30. We're going to go ahead and do the little shake again. It says go between 12 and 3. Hold down. About 10 seconds. Now it's important here, you want to keep in mind, you do not want to overfill. Overfill is pretty much like having nothing in there at all. And I'm not a car guy, or I'm not a mechanic when it comes to this model car. I've got a 68 Mustang that I can pretty much take care of everything on it. It doesn't have air conditioning, by the way, unless the top's down. But I don't know what the cure is for having too much in there. I'm assuming you're going to have to go somewhere, and they're going to have to release it for you. You can see we're slowly going up. I can feel the can's getting really cold. That's just because of the refrigerant moving around in there. I'm going to go a little bit longer this time. I've noticed it's not going up as quickly. So I'm going to try to stop this around 40 or midway through the filled side, because again, I don't want to overfill. Go a little bit more again. Remember to keep the can upright. You give it a couple seconds after. See, we're still sitting at a little bit over 30. More here. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting up there. Just go back and forth a little bit, 12 to 3 every few seconds. Okay. Woo! Can's got some condensation on it now. All right, almost there. Look, if you don't know, and again, I want to just, first off, I want to mention I am in no way affiliated with ArcticFreeze. This is just something I'm trying for the first time. And wow, now I know why you need the gloves. Woo, look at that. Man, that bad boy's cold. I'm no way affiliated with them, but you can go to their website, and I don't remember what it is, but I'll look it up here in a second, and it will help you find the low end of your AC. Mine obviously right here in the right out in the open made it real easy for me. You can also find it, if you're not familiar, if you follow back from the air conditioning unit itself, which should be in the front of the engine. Follow back and you should find it. You might see 2 plugs on there. It will not fit. It'll only fit on one. They are different size plugs, so it is kind of foolproof, which sometimes in my life, even at 50, I think I need foolproof stuff. All right, we're almost where I want to be. It doesn't seem to want to go any further, but it is in the field and it is up. So we'll go a little bit longer on this one. And if we're still at that same spot, I'm just going to call it a day on that, and then we'll check it out. So obviously it's, you know, it's around 70 degrees in the morning here. So 70 degrees in the morning. It's the morning time where I live right now in Virginia. It's about 70 degrees. And there is some pressure settings in there that you need to look at, and that will depend on the ambient temperature, which is the temperature outside and around you. So make sure you look that up. All right, so I'm going to stick with that. Heard a little pop there as it came off. Put the lid back, or put the top back on, and we're going to check it out. Okay, back in the car now. I got my trusty companion here, Dixon. He's been helping me out. So it seems to be blowing much colder. Now, what I probably should have done first is just put a little temperature gauge on this, and then, you know, looked at the temp afterwards. But I can tell you that it is blowing better. Now, one thing that I did do is I shut the vehicle off. I let it sit for a while, and then I turned it on, and it took a couple seconds, but it went right to cold. Where before it really never got cold until I was going down the road. And if I stop at a stoplight or something, it would not go cold again. So basically, the more RPMs I had, it was keeping the vehicle cold. Where now I'm sitting in an idle, and it's nice and cold. So again, I think so far it's working. I think it's a great product. And there is the website that you can go to, which is rechargeac.com. That'll tell you where your low port is on your vehicle. And again, like I said earlier, if you can recognize the AC in the front of the engine, just follow that back. It's going to be on a metal tube, and if there are 2 metal tubes there and you see 2 ports, it's always going to be the larger of the 2 metal tubes. But don't worry, this will only fit in one of them. It will not fit in both. And again, just pull it back, set it on, release it, and you're golden. So you know, hey, check it out. I think it's really good. Right now I'm very pleased with it. It was again, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. It was like 35 bucks, and definitely worth every penny of it at this point. If I'd gone to a dealer, I probably would have spent a lot more than $35, and would have had to sat there for, you know, who knows how long it would have taken them to get that all squared away for me. So check it out, and if you got any questions, please post at the bottom of the video. I'll try to get back to them. But it really is. It's a very, very simple process. It's you know, anybody can do it. Just make sure you got your glasses, make sure you got some gloves, because this can does get very, very cold as the compressed air is or the refrigerant is releasing out and coming through the tube. So I hope this really helps out. I hope it works for you, and I hope, above all, I hope the video was very helpful. So leave comments below, and good luck.